So today we are going to make a jalapeno popper dip, which we were able to get from Bread and Brianna. I like to try, recipes that have been tried before, and they said they made it for Christmas or New Year's, and it was a great recipe. And if you remember a few years ago when we did the big game show and we came up with all these different recipes, so I was thinking it might be nice to have something new that people might be able
do for
to
the
use.
next big game. And there are several games as of this filming. There are more playoff games leading up to the Super Bowl.
Which seems really anticlimactic when our team isn't in there.
Since the Packers aren't in it, it's like, we got other things to do.
I'll
go shovel snow or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something more fun.
Okay, so
what are we doing?
There's lots of different ingredients. As you can see, it's not a very low carb or low calorie type dip.
But then most dips aren't meant to be.
know.
They're meant to be tasty.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is let you cut up. It's about 4 ounces of jalapenos that we bought in a jar. So you can either use fresh or you can use these. And while you do that, I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of butter in the microwave to melt.
Okay. Just dice these up. Is that what you want me to do on these? Okay. And then put them in that large bowl?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Okay, while you're doing that, I am going to mix up 8 ounces of cream cheese and a cup of sour cream. And because we're not going very low fat, it is not low fat cream cheese or sour cream.
It's the good stuff.
It's the good stuff.
It's the all the way good
so
stuff.
that's what I figured we would do on this one.
I'm trying to hold my board down so it doesn't slide around or make a lot of noise on the camera. Cool. So those are chopped to your liking.
Okay, do you want to go check that?
I'll get the
and
butter.
that is why I have it covered, because sometimes that butter gets out of control and kind of blows up all over the microwave.
Oh yeah, we're good.
Good.
And you have a spoon to stir this with?
Yeah, okay, you can set this one. How about right here? You can put the rest of those on there. And while I'm stirring this, I will let you make the topping, okay?
Okay.
Just to show that it's kind of an easy recipe. Okay, so for the 4 tablespoons of butter, you're going to add a 1/2 cup of Italian breadcrumbs,
Okay.
1/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan, and 1 tablespoon of dry parsley flakes.
Okay, this looks pretty easy.
And I imagine if you were doing this in the summertime, you could probably use some of that fresh parsley, but it says dried, so where you could go to the work of drying your parsley and,
and
put that
I just
in.
Put fresh in. That would be
That's
delicious,
true.
actually.
Yeah. So it seems
that
like
looks pretty easy. You're just kind of
softening
up your
and just let your cream cheese sit out. It's been sitting out for a few hours, and if you were going to take a package that was right from the refrigerator, I would suggest probably using your electric beaters.
Oh, sure.
And
that would
beat
make
it up
less
that
chunky,
way.
But sometimes the chunkiness gives it a little texture too.
Right. So that's what we're going to do anyway.
I think that looks good,
So
just
then
like
mix that around. So you like that?
I think that's a good texture.
Okay, so to that, we are going to add 2 cups of grated cheddar cheese.
You want me to use this spoon or use this spatula?
You can use a spatula. And then 3/4 of a cup of grated parm.
Okay.
So the recipe called for 1 cup of grated parm, and you put 3/4 of a cup in this mixture, and then the other quarter then goes on the topping.
Okay.
So I figured I would divide it, because how many times are you doing something and then we accidentally add the whole thing in?
Yeah.
And then to that, when you get that stirred up a bit, then you can add those jalapenos. And there might not be quite, 4 ounces in there for the jalapenos, but
And you can add
if you want it really
little
spicy,
less or a little more,
depending on how hot you want that
Okay.
to be. So that's going to go in next.
That seems to me like a lot of jalapeno.
I guess we'll see when we're done.
We're going to see when we test it out. But now we have to put this all together and then bake it.
Right.
So we'll have a little break in between there after we throw this in the
We'll have a little
oven.
break to clean up,
Yeah.
and then we'll be ready to eat.
Okay.
This might be lunch today.
Man, I tell you, that looks good. This goes straight
So
in
that's
there.
going to go into
non-greased.
your non-greased 8-inch square pan.
Okay.
Now, sometimes we've ordered like the jalapeno poppers, like at a
At a
restaurant,
restaurant. Yeah.
and those are really good, and they're baked, of course,
Mm-hmm.
just like this is going to be baked.
Mm-hmm.
You could, we've actually never made the jalapeno poppers, but you can bake them and also fill them, with.
Not sure why I just cleaned my scraper off. I just got it all full of cheese again. That's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So like with the jalapeno poppers, like the recipe calls for actually broiling them. If you
you
have
have raw
the raw,
jalapenos.
right, and then take the seeds out and then continue. But then I think you would probably could even just use those jalapeno poppers or the jalapenos and then just fill them and then bake it that way, which we
Right.
kind of like individual ones, and then top it with your dry or your breadcrumb topping, which is always one of the best parts when you have.
You bake this stuff.
yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't made it yet, I can already.
You can just tell that it's going to be good.
I can taste it with this breadcrumb mixture
Yeah.
and the butter. Oh boy.
And you would bake this at 400 degrees for 20 minutes.
Open wide. Here we go.
So the jalapeno popper
We are
dip is
about
just about ready,
Seconds away.
from being able to enjoy this.
Okay. See it ticking, ticking, ticking.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. I did a little force on it. There we go.
I always like to turn that off because then when I turn the oven on and it's not off, it scares the heck out of me.
It does.
It's going to go right in there.
Does that
And
look
you can
good or what?
close
Be
that
careful.
and turn. Oh, here, honey, you might want to put that.
Yeah.
And then I have some Triscuits. So we are just going to take. Oh,
Be careful.
good.
That's
That's going to be really hot, huh?
Yeah.
You can see
Put a-
it's
put a couple of them-
steaming.
Put a couple of them out here and let them cool for a few seconds.
Okay. It's bubbling around the edges.
I'm ready.
Hopefully I don't burn my mouth on this.
Be careful. Blow on it a little bit. Hot? Or are you just catching a cracker?
You can definitely taste that jalapeno as it gets down.
As it goes
oh,
down.
That's delicious.
That's an excellent
So we're going to
dip.
finish this up now, the show, so we can get eating some more. This
I
will be
think that's a
lunch,
good
okay?
idea. Yeah, let's wrap it
All
up.
right.
So,
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cooking with Ruth and Gary. And until next time, happy cooking. That's the camera that we look at.
I know. This is your show. I think I did the last one. So
Okay.
This is your show, so go for
Okay,
it.
all right. I always like to get all the crumbs out of that bowl,
Are you trying to tell me I didn't do a very good job?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be replaced,
Waste
will I?
not, waste not, want
You're
not.
not going to replace
remember?
me, are we?
No.
Are you? Okay.
And I said, yeah, the socks. And he said, oh, by the way, he said, do you know what it really means?
To get baked?
Let's get baked.
I said, well, isn't that like, I told him, well, isn't that like, let's get drunk, let's get smashed, let's get bombed, whatever. He says, no, it's getting stoned. See, that's
I'm
just our
sorry,
generation.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry,
know.
we didn't know.
We didn't know. Right after I said, oh, it says let's get naked. No,
No.
didn't say that.